El Salvador has officially become the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. But as more details continue to emerge, we'll eventually find out if this ends up being a winning strategy for the country. And joining me now for more is Alex Bukele. Alex, it's good to see you here. So let's break down El Salvador's bill. We know the basics, but what are some of the other important takeaways?
So in addition to the strict legal definition of legal tender, which means a form of currency that must be accepted as payment for a debt, the bill outlines a number of additional uses, as you highlighted earlier. It allows citizens to pay their taxes in Bitcoin, express prices in Bitcoin, as well as avoid capital gains taxes. In addition to that, the state will provide instant convertibility between Bitcoin and the US dollar, which is currently El Salvador's main currency, and it will also allow people to pay past dollar debts in Bitcoin.
So how surprising, Alex, or I guess not surprising, is it that El Salvador would be the first country to do this?
So there were some signs that El Salvador was primed to embrace Bitcoin. One being a community known as El Zanti, which is now called Bitcoin Beach by some, that fully integrated Bitcoin into the local economy, start going back to 2019. In addition, El Salvador has a large unbanked population, actually about 70% of the population. And some of the people touting integration with Bitcoin say that this group could benefit from the digital infrastructure that would necessarily come with Bitcoin.
Now, what other South American countries could follow, perhaps, in the footsteps of El Salvador? I mean, do you think it would be a South American country next to do this move?
So right now, lawmakers in Panama and Paraguay have said outright that they plan to introduce similar legislation as El Salvador. Additionally, individual lawmakers from Brazil and Mexico have also chimed in with their support, though it's unclear yet if any of them will take the plunge like El Salvador. I should note that new supporters are cropping up every day, with more and more laser-eyed avatars showing up on the profiles of elected officials throughout Latin America.
How practical would Bitcoin be, Alex, in El Salvador? I mean, what will people be able to pay for in Bitcoin? I assume virtually everything, since it's legal tender.
So, according to President Bukele, all economic agents, including merchants, will be forced to accept Bitcoin. So, in theory, at least, Salvadorians will all be able to use Bitcoin on anything they could currently purchase dollars with. Much of this depends, of course, on El Salvador rolling out the proper infrastructure across its economy for this to be possible, which is one reason why the president said there will be a 90-day grace period before the bill becomes effective. That's the time they're going to be spending working with global partners to bring in the infrastructure they need so that, wherever you are in the El Salvadoran economy, you can use Bitcoin.
What are some of the biggest challenges that the country faces with Bitcoin as legal tender, given the token's volatility? I understand that basically any merchant has to accept it, but because the price is so volatile, I wonder how this country plans to basically handle that.
So I think the challenge facing El Salvador is similar to the challenges facing Bitcoin adoption anywhere. As long as Bitcoin remains a highly volatile asset that is primarily popular for its high yields, regular people may hesitate to exchange their hard-earned dollars for Bitcoin. As for El Salvador as a whole, a lot of people are curious how the country will provide instant convertibility with Bitcoin without building up a reserve of Bitcoins in its central bank, an option that the president said is currently not on the table. For the moment, he said the government is putting $150 million worth of Bitcoin in a trust fund as insurance for merchants accepting the digital currency. Whether that's enough to provide a buffer amid so much price fluctuation remains to be seen.